Hey, welcome back to another Netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Sincerely appreciate you joining me today for episode number 80. I'm going to show how to build an employee-spouse-child relationship in Quantrix. And what I mean by that is I had a question sent in to me by Hamza. Hamza says, hey, look at this spreadsheet. Can you build this in Quantrix? Or how would you build this in Quantrix? Where I have a person that has an ID. That person has maybe two spouses. And for whatever reason, and then maybe with each one of those spouses, maybe there's a couple children and there's another children with another spouse. So the question is, how do you build this in Quantrix so there's a relationship here? And this is how I would do it. I'd go out here with my Quantrix model and I would build something called the adult matrix, I guess. Okay, and I would call this adult 1. Okay, and then you could have adult 2, 3, 4, as many as you wanted. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so I can see it here. And then I would put, say, my ID here, which is simply equals to @B category, okay? And then I would add another couple items here, one which would be age, one which would be sex, and I guess if you wanted to add salary, you could, okay? So say that he's age 30, and he's a male, and it's 5,000, okay? And then this one again, 30, male, 5,000. And then this adult is 40, it's a female, and it's 4,000, okay? And I guess this was 5,000, not that it really matters. So then what I would do is I would go ahead and I'd create another matrix, just add one here, and I would call it the spouse matrix, okay? And then with that, I'd call this, say, spouse 1. And that's all it is an ID, really. And then with that, I would go ahead and I'd say, okay, spouse 1 also needs to have adult associated with it. So I'm going to bring this in here. I'm going to actually rename this, and I'm going to call this adult. Okay. So I know what it is here, and I guess I didn't link it when I drug it over. So let me bring it over. You can see I have adult now. If I add another adult here, should add another adult there. Okay, so then what I'm going to rename this one, I'm going to call this spouse, I guess. And then I can add some IDs to it, which is age and sex. Okay, and sex. Okay, so again, we got 25 and a female for this first spouse. Okay, and then the second spouse of this adult 1 is 29 and a female, of course. And then this one is 30 and a female here for number 2. And this one is 25 and a man, okay? And a male, okay? So then the question is, well, how would you then go ahead and add children to this, okay? Well, that's a great question. I'd go ahead and add another matrix. Let's say children. And I would add to children, I'd take the adult for sure, and I would take the spouse as well, and then I would add another thing called children, and we'll call this child 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this adult can have a spouse, and it can have up to 6 kids. It can actually have up to as many as I want to put here, and this adult with this spouse can have, just as many kids. So again, I think I have to put the age here, okay, as well as the gender, so sex. All right, so I'd go something like this. This is all with spouse 1, okay, then he has these, and then with spouse 2, I guess, they have this here, okay. Then here again with spouse 1 for adult number 2, so I'd go down to adult number 2, and it would be something like this, okay. And then for adult number 3 with the first spouse, it'd be something like that. Cool. So that's really how I would take this spreadsheet and put it over here into Quantrix and kind of create that adult spouse child relationship, okay. By really just creating new categories, which are kind of like IDs, and then linking those categories across the matrices. I hope you find that helpful, Hamza, and the rest of you. And if you have any questions about Quantrix, feel free to reach out to me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. If you have a question about how to do something in Quantrix that you've been doing in Excel for a while, drop me a line. I want to help you become a Quantrix master and embrace this awesome, awesome piece of software. So please join me again for another episode of Quantrix Authority with Rich Lopez.